They're hard to maneuver, hard to manage, both from a execution and a reporting standpoint, right? Thus why they are also second in line when it comes to profit loss on projects, right? Probably one of the worst things though, and I see it and it's all too common, is projects getting to the end and being way over budget, and then PMs, companies scrambling to try and justify all of this change to clients that they have not kept in the loop along the way, and then getting ticked when they decide that they don't want to pay you another $75,000. I wouldn't either. So anyway, all right, site reporting. So when it comes to project reporting in general, a few different things we should look at here: accuracy, completeness, objectivity, uniformity, believability, and timeliness. So the key one that's going to feed into almost all of these others is the timeliness. Okay? Doing reviews or project reporting in a timely manner is going to make them credible. It's going to make them complete and accurate. Okay? Reporting in any way, shape, or form is only useful if the information is trustworthy, right? It's Friday. I can make up a report for Monday, no problem. Is it going to be accurate? No. Will it be complete? No. I know I'm going to miss things. I could make it objective. I can create it to be uniform with other reports, no problem. Damn straight I can make it believable, but it's not timely, so it's not hitting the major two objectives of being accurate and complete. It's useless information. So when it comes to any kind of reporting, it's got to be accurate, right? It's the only thing that's going to make it worth the time of creating it, basically. So site reporting, a necessity to monitor and control the project effectively, so company management can be kept up to date, provides the client with accurate project information, provides projections of future project activities, it gives your project control, and again, it also creates that legacy of information to be drawn from on future projects, okay? Bunch of different types of reports, so daily journals, progress reports regarding scope, budget, and schedule, change orders, pending, approved, unapproved, quality control, risk management, safety, or first aid. And now I know, again, daily journals or logs is what you guys use through Buildertrend, and that I believe is weekly, correct? Yep. Are these basically some typical points that you would fill in? Progress. Okay, these ones are more daily, I will say.
We have a daily log that we're supposed to be like in a hard binder book.
Okay. All right, and is that, do you do that and then draw from that to create your weekly report? Is that essentially the drill, the plan?
Laura,
Okay, yes?
I'm going to ask you to interject right here.
Yeah.
What is it in BC residential, we'll call it law, because I don't know if it's a law or if it's just a best practices, for a construction manager as far as a journal is concerned, their own personal journal, daily journal, and what things should be in that. Not talking about a log we put onto a software for others to see.
Yep.
Their own daily journal. Can you speak to that?
Yep, for sure. So legally, a daily journal should be kept on every project site. That's a legality. Okay? It's a legality in case, obviously, something happens. Right? That is the main thing. Right to the point of, if you're going to do it in something handwritten, the pages have to be bound where you cannot insert or remove. They have to be numbered so that you can see the sequential piece of it, so nothing has been taken out. That's the legality of it, is that all project sites are supposed to have daily information hitting most of these topics. Most importantly, who was there, what work was performed. Those are the two main ones.
Date?
Yeah, of course, date.
And like
It does not necessarily have to be left on site, but the requirement of this would be that if a person left or was going to leave the company, that this stays with the company. This is company property, not personal property. So if they ever had to be referenced, they could be. Now, yes, I was going to say, you can do it digitally because it leaves a footprint.
Keep, for example. Google Keep has that.
Okay. I'm sorry, I don't know
There's a
what,
lot of different programs.
okay, I don't know what Google Keep is, but okay. So yeah, something that's basically going to timestamp it. It's going to show who made the entry, when they made the entry. It's also going to keep track of any changes made.
To the job.
Yes,
The end of the job, that
Should be
has
something
to be handed in,
filed away.
or if you are to leave that job, it has to be handed in. It's not something you keep, it's not your journal. It's a journal that's legally bound to the job. And if you have any questions about what that could mean and how long, ask Steve. He's had to go and deal with different court-related matters on a couple of different projects. And only what really it came down to was his handwritten, bound journal that was taken as evidence.
I'm thinking about, like, if you do it with, like, our Google account, which is carl@mileszacho.com, use the key there, that will be your thing, that will be
Yeah,
your
no,
company
I'm not
thing, so it's
disagreeing.
not.
You're not able to.
Yep,
Except for he doesn't want that.
So what we use as a team,
Yeah,
and
he
what
doesn't
we
want that.
teach as a team, for those who have been taught it, is GoodNotes. So that's
Okay.
what we use.
okay,
And it's a software that's able to interact as a team, both in photographic and as well as written.
Okay.
And it's written and photos really make the difference. And I'd be happy to
Same
sit
thing.
down and show you how that works.
okay.
It's the
Yeah.
same.
Same idea, it's something online. So yeah, there is an absolute legality around it. And I mean, it's like anything. It only becomes really super important when you need it and you don't have it. So in essence, make sure you're keeping them, right? Absolutely, you should be keeping them, some digital or, as we said, in some kind of a bound format that cannot be altered. Or if it's altered, you have to actually physically strike lines out and rewrite it.
Is there any tie to photographic documentation at all? Your recommendation to a construction manager?
Well, photographic, 100%. I mean, pictures don't lie, right? Like, and again, it comes down to perspective. Everybody's going to write in a journal. Absolutely, a lot of this information, it's factual. It's either cloudy or it's not. There was only 8 people on site or there was 6, right? It's factual information. There's not a lot of bias that you can add into this, but pictures or videos specifically, again, they're time-stamped, date-stamped. It's information that you can't edit without a trace of some kind. And I have seen it, and again, as Graham said with Steve, you've had to act in a few different situations, obviously, from a legal standpoint. And this is where the legalities of being a site supervisor, construction manager, and or project manager, this is where the legalities come in to having those roles. Yes, you are an employee. There is a certain amount of liability release there because you are employed by a company, but not all. So if something really catastrophic was to happen, let's say some kind of a structural collapse or something like that, 4 years later, after you are on a project site, okay, the company is going to get named, the PM is going to get named, the site supervisor is going to get named, because you are, yeah, well, the engineers, absolutely, because you are in a position that for insurance and legal purposes is considered to be, you're in that role because you are equipped, experienced, educated to be in that role. Okay, and that's why accountability and responsibility is pretty heavy on those roles, right? The expectation of them from that sense, from that legal liability sense, can be pretty heavy, can be pretty major. So again, from both of those roles' perspective, making sure you're doing things like keeping journals, right? Doing accurate reports and accounting. Okay, it's a key part of the process for you. You're all going to run away and quit now, aren't you? So here's just, a quick snapshot of what your daily logs listing looks like coming out of Buildertrend. Reporting on your scope of work is obviously going to go hand in hand with change orders. Okay? Any work completed or to be completed outside the scope baseline is considered a deviation from the original plan and must be considered a change. As scope, budget, and schedule are part of the triple constraint, these items need to be reported on together. So same thing with your budget. Deviation between the two pieces of information, your baseline and where you're currently at, okay, is going to help you control your project effectively. Are we on budget? Are we behind? Are we under? Are we over? Where are we at from a budgeting perspective? Okay. The accuracy of the financial data serves a dual purpose in both recording the transactions that occur as well as giving the project team an indication of progress, but also potential problems. No one wants to see especially budget issues, but it's sure better to catch them and to know where you're at with it. Okay, this is one of those things where you really don't want to bury your head in the sand regarding it. Okay, these reports are generated to give you this information to rework, correct action moving forward. Okay? The most important criteria for budget reporting is that it's trusted, that the information you're looking at is accurate, is complete. Okay? The information has to be timely and completely accurate for both the client and the team to make factual, educated decisions. If you go to your client and you say, hey, you know what, we're way under budget on 3 different items here, we could potentially, maybe, I know you really wanted those light fixtures, so we could potentially have enough in our budget now to cover that.
Yeah.
You want to know damn straight that you actually have that money in the budget to cover that. And if you're not looking at timely, trusted data, you don't want to be over-promising and under-delivering there, right? So making sure that you know for certain. Schedule reporting, again, it all works hand in hand with your budget and your scope because the 3 of them are tied together, okay? Updating information provided to your subcontractors is one of the biggest areas of schedule reporting as well as your client. Quality management reports, again, that's looking at work in progress, looking at rework, looking at adjusting the process if you need to. Okay, and all of this reporting is all part of monitoring and controlling your project. Okay, so this is the thing that's helping you come out to a successful end, to a successful conclusion of your project. Same thing with risk. It's ongoing. Starts at the beginning, flows all the way through until the completion of the project. Safety and first aid reporting is one of the most important reports that can come off of a project site. We will talk a little bit more about safety in a few minutes, but generally speaking, something that seems quite minor on a project site can turn into something pretty major pretty quickly. I've seen it happen. Okay, so making sure you're keeping a true and accurate account of what it is that's going on